The first one, funny enough, this article's been dispelled, sort of. It's all a rumor, so we don't know what's true or what's false. Yeah, I'm already yawning. He's a black content creator. He probably just doesn't come out of his, I mean, his color has nothing to do with anything. Him being black don't got nothing to do with anything. He just probably just, you know, ignorant. He's in his bubble. What I find interesting is like people, when they make these comments, they'll never come and talk to me about it or anybody who actually plays games. Nah, gamer subs ain't gonna help me. It's too late to be taking caffeine. Comic convention in my town this weekend. I'll be there. Thanks to you, TBH. Okay. But yeah, the first and only batch of articles I got for you, it's already been kind of dispelled. There was a rumor going around that Xbox is working on massive backwards compatibility, and they were going to be calling it Xbox Classics, which I was confused because the Xbox already has backwards compatibility, but then there's been an update on it. But I didn't read the original story, so let's read the original story and then the update. Take everything I'm about to say with a grain of salt. It was just recently that we heard from a Spanish YouTuber, Extra One, about the release date and pricing for the ROG Ally Xbox handheld, and now they're back at it again with another video today, this time talking about Xbox backwards compatibility. In their video, they mentioned that according to a source of theirs that works inside of Microsoft, Xbox is embarking on an ambitious project with a provisional name of Xbox Classics, and they insist this name could easily change, dedicated to focusing on original Xbox and Xbox 360 emulation. Is 360 emulation not a part of the program already? Is it only Xbox One? I never used backwards compatibility on Xbox. I don't really care about it. I buy consoles, the new consoles for the new shit. But I thought 360 was already there, unless I'm wrong. Or maybe it's like a limited, super limited catalog. I don't know. They advise it's a new advanced emulation platform that should offer big benefits across multiple systems. Limited catalog from what I remember. Okay. So it's just limited. What Xbox is working on is a new advanced emulation program designed to run Xbox 360 classics and original Xbox titles with stability and graphic improvements. Full integration with Game Pass, PC, current consoles, portable devices like the ROG Ally, and of course, the cloud. It suggested that Xbox might divide this announcement into two large waves in 2026 to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the brand, although Extra Ones isn't sure what specific dates those might be. Surprisingly, they also say that Microsoft has established a direct collaboration with the team behind the unofficial Xbox 360 Xena emulator in order to make this possible. That's pretty crazy if it's true. They reveal a short list of games they said they're getting optimization for the new emulation platform, as well as those including Fable 2, Skate 3, Gears 3, Batman Arkham Asylum. These games will apparently now be more stable with fewer errors, a better frame rate, and also optimized to run on both PC and cloud. That's not the whole list by any means, though, as a bunch of other games are apparently being evaluated for technical and licensing compatibility. Extra One rails off a few other potential titles such as Def Jam Fight for New York, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Castle Crashers, blah, 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 Prince of Persia. The goal, as I understand it, is not just to bring back nostalgia, but for those video games to be able to be played better than ever, even on portable hardware like the ROG Xbox Ally in the cloud, on a smart TV, or on a mobile game. Is this pro-preservation? Yeah, because from my understanding, the emulation works for digital and disc, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Who uses Xbox's backwards compatibility? I'm pretty sure if you put the disc in, it works too. Finally, they sum up their video report by explaining that Xbox is betting on 3 simultaneous versions of each game in the form of a console version, a PC version, and a cloud version. I do, and it does? Okay, that's what I thought. This would be a significant overhaul compared to the current system, which is only optimized for console on Xbox One, Xbox Series, and Xbox Series S or X and S. Obviously, it's a rumor. Take it all with a grain of salt.
Thanks for resubscribing.
Yo, shout to Psycho. Let me ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the most important, how important is backwards compatibility? I don't know, because me personally, I never really cared about it. I buy new consoles to play new games. I don't buy it to play old games. 8, 6. I can see it being super important at the beginning, maybe like the first 2 years of a console's lifespan. But once you get into year 3, 4, 5, 6, it's not important to me. 7, 8, it's pretty important to a lot of y'all in the chat. It's a cool feature. So then my question becomes, well, why not just switch to PC? Like, I hate to be that guy, but you know, you wouldn't have to wait on Xbox to do an emulation thing for the Xbox. if you had a PC, you could play Batman Arkham right off of Steam and it'd be better than this shit. That just some food for thought. Just some food for thought. One make for some exclusives. Gears of War's on PC. All the Xbox games are, and cheaper too. That's exactly one of the reasons why I switched. Just some food for thought. You know, if it is really important for you, you wouldn't have to go through any of this. I'm broke. Chill. Well, you can't be that broke if you're looking forward to this, because it's supposed to be a future joint, right? I can't trust certain PC ports. I feel that's fair. Like, especially the older ones. That's fair. For me, I've always been on console, so it's easier to just sit down and boot up. I feel that. There was an update on the story, though. So this is really important. That's good to know. Okay, so update as of 2:10 p.m. We've since heard from Windows Central editor Jeff Corzan on this topic, who claims that this particular scenario isn't on the cards today. He suggests Xbox is keen to bring more games to more places, but at least based on what he's aware of, it's not along the lines of what Extra One is referring to at that moment. That's not to say the original report is not 100% incorrect, but there's clearly mixed messaging going on behind the scenes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say take this update with a grain of salt, because Jeff Corden, his name is big in the gaming industry. We referenced him plenty of times because he works for Windows Central. But I would take what he's saying with a grain of salt, because he's not saying, oh, I definitively know Xbox is not working on a better emulation program for the Xbox. He just said, I heard something different. So it's he say versus she say. I can't talk. So take it with a grain of salt. It could be true. It could not be true. It's 50-50. Like, it's just his word versus his word. Also, keep in mind, too, Jeff Corden works for Windows Central, which is a website that focuses on Microsoft products. So I would imagine Jeff Corden doesn't want to kick the hornet's nest. I would argue it's a bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Conflict of interest for him to be giving out early stuff. So, of course, he's going to jump out and be like, nah, that's not true. It's a 50-50. What I will say is there's no way to know whether or not this is true or false, but I would say I wouldn't be shocked if it is true. And the reason being is literally 2 days ago, Sarah Bond dropped a video where she was talking about they're working on the next Xbox. We covered it on the stream. And in that same video, she hinted at, and she said that they are focusing on making sure you're able to play all games across all generations. So it felt like they kind of hinted at that it is something they're working on. So I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. I think it would be good for them because obviously a lot of y'all in the chat care about that stuff. Y'all still want to play Gears 3, so the Xbox Cloud shit, that could be what it's in reference to, like the streaming, but it also could be just being able to run older games and stuff like that. Nintendo games on Xbox is crazy, bro. There was a rumor about that. Or like vice versa, one or the other, but I don't believe that shit. So remember where you heard it here first. Take it with a grain of salt. There's no guarantee this is coming out, but it is something that's being talked about. And other news, damn, now 60% of gamers will never play new games. Never, because they're going to keep playing the old shit. Bad news for the Switch 2. More bad news. There's been a lot of bad news. The one shining light of good news has been the Donkey Kong shit. That's been fire. Shout out to A-Dot with the sub. Appreciate it. I can't believe this generation's coming to a close within the next 2 years. I think what it is COVID kind of fucked up people's perception of time. Like, we was in the house so long, and then it was hard to get a PS5. So, yeah. I mean, a couple of years to the next platform, but you got to keep in mind, they're still going to support the PS5 and the Xbox Series X for a long time. I mean, look at the PS4. If you thought it was hard for motherfuckers to get a PS5, imagine how long it's going to be till they get the damn PlayStation 6. But back to the Switch 2 shit. Switch 2 third-party sales reportedly mostly very low despite record-breaking console launch. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. 3.5 million people ran out and purchased a Switch 2, making it the fastest-selling week one sales of any new console in gaming history. But it turns out these niggas didn't buy any games. It looks like I was right. I was making jokes about it, but I was right. The only thing they're playing on the Switch 2 is open world Mario Kart and shuffling around on the OS. Switch 2 has got off to a flying start with Nintendo proudly trumpeting the console as its fastest selling hardware ever, just days after launch. But while things are looking rosy for Nintendo, a new report suggests third-party titles have so far struggled, with one third-party publisher saying sales have been below our lowest estimates. Not they are low, below our lowest estimates. meaning they said that we had a worst case and a best case scenario, and our sales are performing worse than our worst case scenario, bruh. That's according to the game business Chris Dring, who collided some pertinent sales figures surrounding Switch 2's launch in his latest newsletter. The key numbers are that 48% of physical game sales in the UK and 62% of physical games in the US were first-party titles, aka Mario Kart. If Switch 2's Mario Kart World bundle is excluded, but if not, 86% of the Switch 2 physical game sales in the UK were for first-party titles. So the best-selling game is the bundle with Mario Kart and the console. The second best is just Mario Kart by itself. Nintendo, for context, had 3 titles available physically at launch: Mario Kart World, plus 2 Switch editions for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Oh yeah, no, Tears of the Kingdom sold well too. We covered that yesterday. Which, you know, Tears of the Kingdom is especially weird to me because people sat on the internet and bitched and complained that they were charging $70 for an up-res version of Tears of the Kingdom that runs at 60 FPS. Basically the version that should have been there in the first place, and it doesn't include the DLC. And motherfuckers still went out and bought it, and it passed the sales of Expedition 33. What is that about? Fucking frauds, man, frauds. And people be wondering why these companies are so greedy, because people just bend it over and take it, bro. Nintendo whipped that dick over and you niggas bent over. Because, like, come on, no lube. Third parties released a total of 13 physical games. Dring notes Switch 2's figures are an improvement compared to the original Switch's launch, where 89% of the UK physical sales were from first-party games, but adds that most third-party Switch 2 games posted very low numbers. So they're breaking records with Mario Kart first party, but they're not getting anything with the everything else. Despite the availability of some big names, including Civilization 7, Split Fiction, Street Fighter, and Hogwarts Legacy, does not publicly. Oh, well, that's what they're saying. Just the other games. Speaking to the game business, one unnamed third-party publisher painted a bleak picture of its Switch 2 launch date sales, saying that they'd been below our lowest estimates. However, not every third-party release has struggled. Dring says CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077 was one of the best third-party selling games during the launch. But what does that mean when you're one of the best third-party selling games on a platform where they're not selling any fucking games? It's not hard to be number one. It's like, is that really bragging? Like... So, like, I was joking, like, I'd be facetious, I'd be exaggerating shit, but it turns out I wasn't exaggerating anything. When niggas is not playing naked Mario Kart on that damn $50 webcam, niggas is just shuffling through the Nintendo store. Like, wow, look how much more responsive the thumbsticks and the touchscreen is. That's what they doing with this fucking $400, $500 console. The settings app, they waiting for Donkey Kong, bro. Yeah, changing the date and time. That's their game of the year. You mean they don't want to play Cyberpunk? It doesn't surprise me though, because I mean, it was mostly old third-party games that launched with it. I mean, Cyberpunk came out in 2020. Why would I want to play a game that came out in 2020 that looks better in 2020 on the PC version than a version that came out in 2025 on a handheld that looks worse? Like, why would I? So it makes sense that the third-party games didn't sell well. What I will say is this could potentially be a disaster for Nintendo, because although they're doing great out of the gate with hardware sales, if these third-party sales don't pick up, this could potentially spell another disaster for the Switch, where we have long droughts of no games. Because third-party developers, you have to keep in mind, anytime a studio decides to develop a version of a game, they have to that means they have to make a different version of the game, which requires more time, more effort, more money. So now that there's the option of a Switch 2 version of games on the table, they have to spend more money developing and optimizing for that platform as well. If they're not making their money back creating these versions, I wouldn't be surprised if we see low third-party games on the Switch 2, which has always been a notorious problem for Nintendo. Great first-party software, but they've always struggled with getting third-party games on their platforms because Nintendo niggas only want to wear Minish caps and hold Luigi ghost vacuum guns in a damn hand and master swords. They don't really buy third-party games like that. So it could be the cycle repeating itself where we see long stretches of just no games on the Switch 2. And I would hate for that to happen because this is a brand new platform. Let's give it a year or two, see how this plays out. But I will say the fact that third-party developers are already bitching after only 1 week, because this is supposed to be the hype week, right? And they're already bitching, ain't nobody buying our games. You got to keep in mind, we talking about multi-million-dollar companies that are spending hundreds of millions, tens of millions on game development just for the PS5, the Xbox, and PC version. Now you asking them to make a Switch 2 version and ain't nobody buying it? Don't be surprised if they pull them games off that Switch 2 like. Third-party games run like crap anyway. You got them? How you know? How you know if they run like crap on here? You ain't got them. They just said that nobody buy no third-party games on this. Why specifically the Minish Cap? Because Zelda niggas love running the Minish Cap. You know, Minish Cap Zelda. That's what they like wearing, bruh. That's what the Zelda fans like wearing, the little Minish Cap on his head. These niggas go to bed. They don't wear like do-rags and bonnets. They wear Minish Caps to bed. Well, I can't wait to wake up in the morning and go back to playing Tears of the Kingdom. But until then, I'll cry some tears of sleep because I'm a loser. Let me I'll cry for my own kingdom, my home. But yeah, that's your Nintendo update when it comes to sales. So TBH and Chad, I've been watching videos about Grand Theft Auto 6, and people are saying that this game will cause the gaming industry to crash, and people are looking forward to it. What do you think? I would need to see the video. What's the context of, like, why would it make the industry crash? If anything, it would generate sales and jobs, because Grand Theft Auto 6 is gonna sell. So how would it make the industry crash? I would think that a game that costs like $500 million or $1 billion to develop and nobody buys it, that would cause an industry crash. But I don't get how it being successful would be. I have a sneaky suspicion GTA 6 isn't gonna live up to the hype. Yeah, who said that? It sounded like somebody just yapping. I'd argue it's hard to live up to the hype. We've been waiting almost 15 years for Grand Theft Auto 6. Like, people forget the wait from Grand Theft Auto 4 to 5 wasn't that long.
I'm going to Snapchat Sonic my intrusive thoughts.
But the wait from fucking 5 to 6 has been really long, and it's like, it's gonna be hard. I like I said, I don't wish it, but Grand Theft Auto 6 could be another potential Kingdom Hearts 3. It's just hard to live up to that level of hype. As it stands right now, it looks like we're going to get Game 7 for OKC. Put the the fries in the bag. Shout out to Nightmare with the $5 super chat. What's the score? Oh, god damn, they cooking. Yeah, as long as they don't do nothing stupid, they should pull this one out. I'm gonna definitely pull up the game later. Like when the PS6 comes out, how long it takes people to start grabbing those depends on the supply chain. We don't know what the world. And then let me give you y'all another scenario you might not want to hear. How long will it take the people to grab them? We could have another COVID type situation in 2027, 2028. Not specifically COVID that shuts the world down, but something else, like a world event. Y'all know what's going on in the world right now. Niggas are shooting missiles at each other. All I'm saying is we don't know what the world looks like 2 years from now. We might be a little bit busy with more real world shit. Might not be time and money for no goddamn PlayStation or Xbox. That's worst case scenario. I'm hoping that's not the case, but real shit. It's a lot of real shit going on in the world. So it could be a long time before it, like, let's say the PS6 comes out. It might be a long time before people adopt it because the money's just not there because people are too focused on other things. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. In more positive news, let's get off that topic. In more positive news, this came across my timeline. It has been pretty much, not officially, but kind of confirmed that crossplay will be available in Marvel Token, which is their new tag fighter starring Marvel characters, is being developed by Arc Systems, the same people behind Guilty Gear. The Steam page was updated, and I don't know who these people are, but shout out to y'all because it is good info. Niggas was hawking the Steam page from Marvel Token, and they found right there, it's listed to have cross-platform multiplayer. Now, does this confirm it? Not officially. It could just be a mistake. But I'm going to go ahead and say there's about an 80% chance this is probably going to have cross-platform multiplayer between console and PC, which is great. We still should wait until they officially say it on their Twitter. Yeah, you want to say 90? Fine. 80 to 90%. This most likely isn't a mistake because it's Steam. But until they officially confirm it. But I think this is good news. This is good news. That means the game is going to have longevity. It's going to have something Sparking Zero didn't have.
New follower.
And since we're on the topic of Sparking Zero, let me go ahead and switch up right here. I was reading the comments on one of my videos this morning, and I had to save this comment because it was some Sparking Zero slander. This dude, Spawn, said, "No joke, my barber keeps trying to sell me his copy of Sparking Zero every time I get a cut from him." That's right. Sparking Zero is so worthless and so ass. Barbers is trying to sell it. That nigga got a cut and then a free copy of Sparking Zero. Here you go, nigga. I don't want this shit. That nigga got his hairline pushed back. Zzz! You was like, he was ready to walk out the barbershop crying, looking like Vegeta. And then he was like, chill out, little nigga. The haircut for free. I'm gonna give you a baldy and I'm gonna give you a copy of Sparking Zero. Whack ass game. Fuck that game. But I appreciate that comment. So let me say that so I can cook up again. I'm waging war against the Sparking Zero community. How many of y'all in there still? Sparking Zero, Steam DB. I'm waging war with the Sparking Zero community. All 1,000 of y'all. All 1,000 of y'all still left on the fucking server. Yesterday it was 900. We gonna get you. But yep, cross-platform, most likely coming to Marvel Token. Buy this copy or I'm gonna give you a ball fade. I'm only one playing Sparking Zero to collect all the trophies. After that, I'm donezo. That's crazy. That's how you know that shit boring, when niggas is trophy hunting. And then last piece of news I got for you. Gears of War Reloaded beta is getting extended with more maps. Last weekend, Gears of War Reloaded had its first multiplayer beta test, and testing will resume this weekend. However, the team behind the game wants players to know that it has listened to comments about its first beta and expanded the hours and the options for the second weekend. On the game's social media accounts, Gears of War Reloaded's developer, The Coalition, announced the changes. The start time remains June 20th at 12 p.m. PST or 3 p.m. EST, but the tests are now being lengthened by 9 hours to Sunday, June 22nd at 9 p.m. PST and June 23rd, 12 a.m. EST. It'll include more maps. Let's see. So social TDM, it'll have Gridlock, Gold Rush, Raven Down, Courtyard, War Machine, and then competitive Gridlock, Raven Down, Courtyard, War Machine, and the Canals. So there's going to be more content there. If you have Game Pass, I believe you have access to it. Is this a remake? Yes, it is. They announced it like 2 weeks ago during the Xbox press conference. It's technically a remake of a remake because they already remade Gears of War 1 like 10 years ago. So if you own it, you get this version. Is it free or was it $10 or something like that? I think it was for free. And they'll have online, all that bullshit. But still no news about Gears of War E-Day. It's free. Okay, that's what I thought. I don't want to be wrong about that. So yeah, that'll be this weekend if you want to check out the game. TBH, you gonna smoke people this weekend on it? I don't know. I'm so behind on videos. I need to get that shit done. Even in 2K, why not transfer your VC every year from previous 2Ks? Well, then they can't make no money. How they gonna rob you? I'm going in the sub box because that's all the news I have for you. There's literally nothing going on today. It's the end of the week. Change account. Let's see if there are any trailers I should be aware of. Any trailers? What is this thumbnail, JG? Nice of them to send a free code to download Gears Reloaded. Not really. Well, we're just gonna get on the goddamn game. Get on the Omega Redux. So that's just a cinematic trailer. Ark Lost Colony official expansion pass. I didn't even know it was out. Gears of War Reloaded. Dominate multiplayer with these tips from IGN. What kind of tips they got? Mexican Ninja official announcement. Let's go. Mexican Ninja. Tempest Rising official rally and retcon update. What does that mean? Rematches out. Yeah, that shit don't got a crossplay. Amanda the Adventurer #3. What is this thumbnail, bro? Why you release this ashy ass pixelated thumbnail on Juneteenth? That's somehow racist, bro. Couldn't get a high quality thumbnail for the black woman. Okay. Star Overdrive, regards to Fatal Fury series. That game just came and went. Rematch official launch trailer. We know that's already out. I'm glad COD points transfer. I'm glad it's on Game Pass, so I don't gotta worry about it. Yeah, it ain't nothing, bro. It ain't fucking nothing. What's this Mexican Ninja about, though?
En a bruised up pueblo,
¡Hola, muchachos!
el ninja más cabrón rises.
Is he saying racist or rises? The caption says rises, but it sounds like racist. As a rogue, like
is a new battle. Every choice, your destiny. Agárrate los huevos. Master the way of the donkey.
It sounds like somebody that was trying to do like a stereotypical like older Mexican accent. That doesn't sound like a real, I mean, I could be wrong, but that don't sound like a real Mexican person. I don't know about that, chat. I don't know about that. Plot twist is a white man. I was like, yeah, it sounds like, you know, Hollywood used to do that shit all the time. Who developed this? I'm pretty sure this is an indie studio. Developed by Mad Bricks. I've never heard of them. I'm pretty sure it's an indie studio. Da da dee da 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 da. But TV there isn't any variety in modern games. Well, I wouldn't play that shit.
Gears of War.
Let's see what the pro gamers at, for those who've never played Gears, let's see what the pro gamers at IGN have to say on how to get good at the game. I'm gonna put this on 120.
Reloaded brings back the original Gears of War, remastered from the ground up, with 4K resolution, 120 frames per second support, and cross-play across more platforms.
Hey, I'll tell you this much, when I get on this shit, if you beat me, which is most likely not, I'm still gonna shout host on the mic. This nigga got host. Bro, that shit don't even exist. We on dedicated server. No, he got host.
Than ever. And now, PlayStation 5 users can join the fun.
Y'all don't know about that shit.
Underway. It's time to rev up our chainsaws and get dirty. So whether you're new to the Gears of War franchise or a longtime fan looking to shake off the rust, here are some.
That brings back so much memories.
Game in Gears of War Reloaded.
Bro, we used to get into a war of words over who had hosts because niggas swore they was nice, but then they was hosts. They get off that shit and get mollywopped.
Player. The roadie run is a vital mechanic in Gears of War. As unique and nostalgic as it is, it also comes with camera shake by default, which can be distracting and even cause motion sickness. In Gears of War Reloaded, you can turn the camera shake off by going to settings, game, and then camera shake off. Gears of War is an intense shooter where every bullet counts, so it's smart to reload as tactically as possible. The last thing you want is to run out of ammo in the middle of a Nasher shotgun battle. Your goal should be to always hit the perfect active reload target, as it helps you reload bullets even faster. To active reload, tap the right bumper on controller or the R key on PC.
I don't think she know what she's talking about, chat. She said it's best to reload always tactically as possible. If you got the time to reload in Gears, you should. And also the active reload is not just for reloading faster. It gives you a power boost. So if you nice at the game, you was always on active reload. I don't know what she talking about.
To start the reload, then tap again when the meter hits the white line. Getting this mechanic down and balancing when you reload perfect active reload bullets can pull you ahead in a shootout.
It will if you can aim. It will.
Aren't just useful in single player, they're a big help in multiplayer too. Press the left bumper on controller or left shift on PC to activate it.
I ain't seen one wall bounce.
Where power weapons spawn and if they're ready to be picked up. TACCOM also gives you better visibility when smoke grenades are thrown, helping you make smarter, more strategic moves. Frag grenades are a key pickup, so if you've got the spot open and a clear path, try and grab them before your opponents do. Grenades can be tagged onto opponents for instant kills. If someone tags you, roll toward them and take them out with you. It's a noble sacrifice and
I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think she's very good at the game. Like, what the fuck? Why would you put that in? What was you aiming at?
Incredibly satisfying. You've
that nigga was not even looking at you, and I'm pretty sure she was playing a bot, and she missed like 3 shots.
Probably heard that wall bouncing separates the newbies from the pros in Gears of War. And while there's some truth in that, wall bouncing in Gears of War Reloaded is very different from other entries in the series. Because the original Gears of War has slower movement, it can feel clunky. This doesn't mean you can't wall bounce, but it takes practice in adjusting to the slower speed. To wall bounce, initiate a slide into a cover wall or object, and just before contact, push your left stick or slide key in the opposite direction, and then slide again, so that you stick to a wall for a split second and then bounce off of it.
OG wall bounces.
The game also.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm not gonna say I agree or disagree. I don't remember if OG wall bouncing was fast like 2 and 3.
It's very strict animation locks, so you have to let your character visually commit to sliding into cover before you can bounce off of it. Effectively, wall bouncing can.
I've always been on PlayStation, so what made you like Gears so much? What about the gameplay was fun? First of all, it's gritty, super bloody, so like every kill was super satisfying. It was fast paced. The wall bouncing, like there's a definitive skill gap in this game. First of all, you got to learn the map. She's right about that. You have to learn where the power weapons are, sort of like Halo. I like the third person, but like, yeah, the wall bouncing, when you get into a wall bouncing battle, and you team wipe a team, or you get into a wall bouncing battle with someone else who's wall bouncing and you beat them, it's just very satisfying. To the point where like I haven't seen any game be able to replicate like Prime Gears for me. Popping somebody's head with the sniper rifle was always good. The level design was fire. Also, what made Gears great too is like it's not just about the multiplayer. The story was fire. The co-op with your friends playing on hard. It's just a very crisp shooter. What's the word I'm looking for? Very refined. Also, you have to keep in mind, it might not be mind blowing if you haven't played it now, but you got to keep in mind, this is what put cover shooters on the map. Gears of War wasn't the first cover shooter, but it was the first cover shooter that brought it into the mainstream. There's so many cover shooters now, but this was the game.
Be used to angle your aim when you shoot.
Yeah, very social game too.
Enemy blind sides to avoid getting shot. We also recommend turning up your sensitivity settings so that you have a quicker look, zoom, and target aim, as this will help you move a bit.
Yeah, perfected it. And this is one of those games where like the kills are so satisfying when you play with your friends. The shit talking is through the roof because it is aggravating to have a nigga blow your fucking head off, bro, or shoot you, or like, oh, so here's another thing. If you've never played Gears before, for all the PlayStation niggas, what people are gonna do is they're gonna hit active reload on the shotgun. They're gonna shoot you in the legs, drop you, and then instead of finishing you off, they're gonna get behind you and they're gonna butt fuck you. And I'm gonna be one of them, nigga. And if they don't, and then here's the even worse one. Let me give you a worse one. What they gonna do? You might get butt fucked. You might get throat fucked, and then also they might throw a smoke grenade down and they might gangbang you, bruh. Like, I'm being 100% real if you never played this shit, bruh. They ain't gonna show this, but that's the culture of the game, bruh.
Shot, torque bow, and long shot are highly sought after, so be ready to fight for them or be forced to fight against
Like right there, like you saw how the dude, hold on, let me see.
Be ready to fight for them.
So right there, when somebody downs you, if the close is clear, they gonna throw a grenade down and you're gonna get group fucked. Like, you're gonna see what again. I might have to pop out this weekend and see if I still got it. I might have to.
Forced to fight against them.
This game is very toxic, bro.
Most players rush to power weapon spawns. If you can, work with your team to secure them. Offer cover fire for teammates trying to pick them up, and use smoke grenades for added protection. Communicate and mark enemies who grab power.
Once they added the human shields, it got worse. Yep.
Respond. A good tactic is to swap to a different weapon if you have.
Like I remember, was it Gears 2 or 3 where you could pick somebody up and use them as a meat shield? You could then your teammate would come over and pistol whip the nigga while we beat your ass in the corner. That shit was fucking funny, bro.
Equipped just before death, so the enemy team cannot steal it from your corpse. While the Lancer, pistol, and power weapons are great at range, Gears of War is built around close quarters combat. That's where the Gnasher shotgun shines, as it's the most reliable and most used weapon in multiplayer. Gears of War Reloaded uses the original Gears 1 Gnasher.
That is true. Most people, so if you've never played Gears before, the PlayStation niggas, it really is a shotgun focused game, but I'm not gonna lie to you. If your goal is just to win, don't be afraid to use the Lancer. The Lancer is viable, especially if you have somebody running down on a straight lane on you and he's trying to get into a shotgun battle. Just mow his ass down, bruh, and then chop him up.
Formula.
Can we pull up clips? Nah, this game was popular when I was in high school. There wasn't no Elgatos or Ava immediate capture cards back then. And then we played this shit for the love of the game, bro.
Of the screen rather than the barrel.
Wall bouncing into a chainsaw facts.
So line up enemies in the center of your screen, slightly to the right of the shotgun barrel. Hip firing and cover shooting are key, but don't forget to aim down sights when there's a bit of distance. You'll land more precise shots that way. Gears of War is packed with audio cues.
Shout out to Slowbot with the sub.
Keep an ear out for grenades being thrown, enemy callouts and footsteps, and even grunts when enemies are injured and near death. Use these cues to make quick decisions.
Like Gridlock right here is one of the greatest multiplayer maps of all time. It's up there with like Blood Gulch to me.
Important as your eyes. Being aware of enemy movement is crucial, and that includes knowing when spawns swap. The game will alert you with on-screen text and a sound cue. This is your warning to prepare for flank attacks or to plan a surprise of your own. Each player gets spawn protection,
my favorite was Blood
but
Drive.
It only lasts for a few seconds. If you're new to Gears of War and find yourself dying a lot, try slowing things down and playing.
Yeah, they're coming out with a new Gears E-Day. It's supposed to come out in 2026 though.
And you won't always win just by shooting first. Gears is a cover-based shooter where positioning and teamwork matter more than raw speed. If kills are hard to come by, focus on being a strong teammate, mark enemies, communicate with your squad, and attack together. Coordinated pushes can overwhelm even experienced players.
I mean, yeah, that's true if you a pussy. I ain't gonna lie. You should coordinate with your team and shit like that, especially if you down. But I'm not gonna lie, Gears of War is a glory game, bro. Fuck all that teamwork shit. I'm trying to pull up and air a whole fucking team out with the Nasher, dog. I'm trying to win a 1v3. Fuck all that teamwork shit.
Remember, they may have been playing for years. Take your time, play smart, and most importantly, have fun. And those were
that's what people used to do right there too. I remember. So like when you would down somebody, you also have the option to stomp their head off. So what people would do is they would press X to activate the animation, and then you spin the analog stick and you'll do a 360 and then you land on their head so you can get 360 no scope stomp the fuck out. And that shit was funny too.
Take your time, play smart, and most importantly, have fun. And those were just a few beginner's tips to get you started outright in Gears of War Reloaded multiplayer. Thanks.
I've seen some crazy team wipes, especially from skill wall bouncers. I got a crazy team wipe on the last Gears that came out. What was it, Gears 5? I remember the whole team died, and I got a team wipe by myself off wall bouncing with the shotgun. I remember the chat was going crazy. I was like, I told you I was good at this game, but I'm not gonna lie, it's been a while. When did Gears 5? I don't know if I'm good at this game anymore. It could be like Smash Bros. I just need a couple games to get that feeling back. But I don't know. Maybe I'll stream for like 2 or 3 hours, just hop on it and see how it feels. Is there skill-based matchmaking? I don't think there was. That was the Xbox 360 era. I think it was just get on there and play. I don't remember there being no skill-based matchmaking. Yeah, I'm coming to wipe some lobbies, bro. And it's gonna be fun too, because it's gonna be PS5 niggas on there. There's gonna be a lot of Christmas noobs, so motherfuckers gonna get they shit mollywopped, bro. And what made another reason that made Gears fun, I hope they keep it in the remaster. They have team chat, but then you could also talk to the other team, but you could only talk to them in between rounds. So like it would be if you're playing TDM, I think it was either 4v4 or 5v5. Once you wipe the team, it goes to like, I think like whoever gets to the first 6 rounds or something like that. It's like 10 seconds in between rounds. Niggas would just be yelling at each other in between the fucking rounds, being mad, toxic, talking shit. That shit was fucking great, bro. That shit was toxic, man. That was back when like I remember I played my high school principal in that shit. I used to talk shit to him in that shit. Gears montages used to be goated. Facts. As much as I would like that, they're not gonna have it. Man, they better keep it in the fucking game. Like Search and Destroy. Yeah, kind of like Search and Destroy with Call of Duty. That's all I got in terms of news, though. So we want to hop on this expedition and put in some pain. You saw Blade woke up for Juneteenth. Yeah, I seen that. Hold on. Yeah, let me pull that up real quick. We can talk about that real quick. I retweeted it. Let me see. Yeah, so in Marvel Rivals, Blade has been asleep on the fucking map. First of all, he was asleep. No, first they had him in chains when he first appeared. When he got freed at the end of the season, he was asleep. They woke him up today on Juneteenth. So then people are cracking up like, oh wow. So like remember like a couple months ago, I said I find that very strange that they put him in chains during what was like Black History Month or some shit like that. Now during Juneteenth he free. Okay. I know this is a Chinese made game, but Google is free. They know what they doing, bro. They know what they doing. But yeah, that was that. I'm gonna go